Hello, we're our Lives channel. Today we will learn about the explosive developments brewing in Salem during the week of September 29th to October 3rd, where passion reignites amid dangerous secrets, corporate battles reach their boiling point, and several Salem residents face life-altering consequences that could reshape their futures forever. The aftermath of Salem's recent blackout has created an unexpected opportunity for romance to flourish once again between Sarah Horton Kyriakis and Xander Kyriakis. Their intimate moments during the power outage have reignited the passionate flame that once burned so brightly between them, leading both to question whether they're truly ready to embark on a new chapter as husband and wife. The undeniable chemistry that has always existed between Sarah and Xander becomes impossible to ignore, as they find themselves drawn together by circumstances beyond their control, creating a scenario where their hearts may be willing to forgive what their minds cannot forget. However, this potential romantic reunion stands on incredibly shaky ground, threatened by a devastating secret that could destroy any hope of reconciliation. Xander continues to perpetuate the dangerous lie that he was not responsible for the vicious attack on Philip Kyriakis, allowing Sarah to believe her previous suspicions were completely unfounded. This deception cuts deeper than any physical wound, as Xander watches Sarah blame herself for doubting him, knowing full well that her initial instincts were absolutely correct. The weight of this lie grows heavier with each passing moment, especially as Sarah considers couples therapy with Dr. Marlena Evans as a potential pathway to healing their fractured relationship. The corporate espionage storyline reaches a critical turning point as Gabi Hernandez finds herself walking directly into a carefully laid trap that could result in serious legal consequences. The sophisticated surveillance device she planted in Xander's office is about to be discovered, exposing her role in the elaborate scheme orchestrated by DiMera to destabilize the Kyriakis empire from within. Gabi's arrest appears imminent, and the ramifications of her corporate sabotage activities will send shockwaves through Salem's business community, potentially implicating other key players in Tony's ambitious power grab. The corporate warfare between the established Salem families intensifies dramatically as Xander and Philip prepare to deliver a unified rejection of Tony DiMera's supposedly generous business proposal. This decision represents more than just a financial choice. It's a declaration of war that will pit the DiMera resources against the combined might of the Kyriakis legacy. Maggie Kyriakis emerges as the driving force behind this resistance, passionately urging her family to honor Victor Kyriakis' memory by refusing to surrender any portion of his carefully built empire to their longtime rivals. Meanwhile, Stephanie Johnson discovers that her past has returned to haunt her in the most disturbing way possible, as her abusive ex-boyfriend Jeremy Horton makes his unwelcome return to Salem. Jeremy's decision to relocate permanently to Salem isn't coincidental. He's learned that Stephanie is the mysterious author behind the best-selling novel Anastasia Sands, which draws heavily from their tumultuous romantic history. This revelation transforms Jeremy from a distant memory into an immediate threat, as he becomes obsessed with rekindling their relationship, convinced that the book's success proves their connection was destined to last forever. Alex Kyriakis quickly recognizes the danger Jeremy represents to Stephanie's well-being and wastes no time positioning himself as her protector. The confrontation between Alex and Jeremy promises to be explosive, as Alex's protective instincts clash with Jeremy's manipulative tactics and false promises of redemption. Jeremy's knowledge of Stephanie's literary success gives him dangerous leverage, allowing him to insinuate himself back into her life under the pretense of celebrating her achievements while harboring much darker intentions. The adoption storyline surrounding Johnny DiMera and Chanel Dupree takes a sinister turn as Sophia Choi's vendetta against the couple reaches new levels of sophistication and cruelty. Sophia's carefully orchestrated campaign to destroy Johnny's reputation as a suitable father figure involves manufacturing scandalous evidence that could paint him as an inappropriate instructor who has crossed professional boundaries with his students. Her manipulation extends beyond simple character assassination, as she works to create a web of false evidence that could permanently damage Johnny's career and destroy his marriage to Chanel. The stakes surrounding Johnny and Chanel's adoption dreams couldn't be higher, as Sophia's interference threatens to derail their carefully planned future as parents. Her scheme involves exploiting Holly Jonas' complicated relationship with Tate Black, using their connection to create compromising situations that could be misinterpreted as evidence of Johnny's professional misconduct. The psychological warfare Sophia employs demonstrates her willingness to destroy multiple lives in pursuit of her revenge against Johnny. Rachel Black's increasingly erratic behavior at school signals a concerning escalation in her emotional deterioration following her mother Kristen DiMera's imprisonment. The psychological trauma Rachel has endured manifests in dangerous ways that threaten not only her own well-being but potentially the safety of those around her, including her pregnant teacher Mrs. Brody. Rachel's connection to the shooting of E.J. DiMera adds another layer of psychological complexity, as suppressed memories and guilt continue to torment the troubled young girl. The convergence of these multiple crisis situations creates a powder keg atmosphere in Salem, where long-buried secrets threaten to explode and destroy the carefully constructed lives of several prominent families. The week promises to deliver shocking revelations, unexpected alliances, and consequences that will reverberate through Salem's interconnected community for months to come. As these dramatic storylines unfold simultaneously, viewers can expect emotional confrontations, surprising romantic developments, and the kind of high-stakes drama that has made Days of Our Lives appointment television for generations of devoted fans. Next, Days of Our Lives shocker. Has the show secretly brought back Andre disguised as Tony? Hello and welcome back to the ever-twisting, never-ending drama of Days of Our Lives. Salem is once again bracing itself for chaos, heartbreak, and shocking family betrayals. This week's episodes may have just planted the seeds for one of the biggest bombshells the soap has delivered in years. Fans are buzzing, theories are multiplying by the minute, and it's all because of one tantalizing possibility. The Tony we're seeing on screen right now may not actually be Tony DiMera at all. Instead, it may be his darker, more sinister brother Andre who has returned from the grave to stir up trouble in Salem once more. Yes, you read that right. After Tuesday's explosive confrontation between Maggie and Tony, many longtime viewers can't shake the feeling that the pieces are falling into place for a classic Days of Our Lives identity twist. And if Andre truly is back, then the stakes in Salem just skyrocketed. Tony's rare form? Or is it? There's no denying that Tony has been acting strangely since his reappearance on the show. He's been fiery, determined, and almost bloodthirsty in his pursuit of reclaiming the DiMera name and empire. But this time, his ambitions don't stop with winning back his family fortune. He's made it clear that he wants to crush the Kiriakis' legacy into dust, erasing Victor's empire from history in an act of vengeance that feels deeply personal. This doesn't sound like the Tony that fans have come to know over the years, the more refined, conflicted DiMera who, despite his family's criminal history, often tried to walk a straighter path. Instead, his demeanor feels closer to that of Andre. Ruthless, calculating, and willing to fight to the death to get what he wants. Maggie stands her ground. Tuesday's episode gave viewers a striking confrontation that only added fuel to the speculation. Maggie, never one to back down from the DiMeras, marched into Tony's living room, arms folded and eyes blazing, to tell him directly that he's not the man he claims to be. "You're not evil," she told him. "You're not this cunning villain you're trying to act like." But Tony pushed back, insisting that he was merely fighting for his family's legacy. The moment was powerful and unsettling. Because if Maggie's instincts are right, then something is deeply off here. Could her sharp intuition be the first clue that she isn't facing Tony at all, but Andre in disguise? The fan theory that won't die. For weeks, a popular fan theory has been circulating online, that Tony's recent return has been a setup for the reintroduction of Andre DiMera, Salem's ultimate master of deception. Longtime viewers know just how many times Andre has slithered back into town after supposedly dying, often wearing Tony's face and creating chaos in his wake. At first, many dismissed the theory as wishful thinking. After all, Andre was definitively killed years ago in one of the most shocking acts of poetic justice ever seen in Salem. But now, with Tony acting increasingly unlike himself and with new clues emerging, the theory seems more plausible than ever. A clue hidden in plain sight. Tuesday's episode dropped one particular detail that made fans sit up straight. Philip casually told Xander that the last time he clashed with Tony was years ago, during a heated business battle over an alternative fuel project. That feud, Philip recalled, ended badly for Tony. And badly is an understatement. Let's rewind. The alternative fuel war, a tragic chapter. Years ago, Titan Industries attempted to launch an ambitious alternative fuel project. Melanie, Maggie's niece, was working on the project while also obsessing over Philip, played at the time by J. Kenneth Johnson. When Philip started seeing Stephanie, Melanie tried to sabotage the relationship, causing friction both at home and at work. Philip, frustrated, pushed Melanie out of Titan. But Victor, never one to tolerate weakness in his son, reprimanded him for letting such a valuable project slip away. Enter the DiMeras. Seeing an opportunity to gain the upper hand, Tony clashed with Philip over the rights to the project. The two men fought bitterly, and the conflict culminated in a dramatic showdown at the docks. In true soap opera fashion, things spiraled out of control. Tony was injured in the fight and tragically fell onto a piece of wood, impaling himself. The imagery was so dramatic that fans still compare it to a vampire staking scene. For all intents and purposes, Tony was dead, and he stayed gone for nearly a decade. The rise of Andre. In Tony's absence, Andre stepped back into Salem's spotlight. For years, he used his uncanny resemblance to Tony to manipulate, deceive, and destroy lives. Sometimes he impersonated Tony directly. Other times, he simply wreaked havoc under his own name. His reign of terror ended, or so everyone thought, when Abigail smashed him over the head with Tony's urn, killing him in one of the show's most brutal acts of poetic justice. Viewers breathed a sigh of relief. Surely Andre couldn't come back from that. And yet, this is days of our lives. Death is rarely permanent. The puzzle pieces come together. Now, fans can't ignore the timing. Philip's reminder of Tony's violent end, combined with Maggie's uneasy confrontation, points toward a pattern we've seen before. Tony disappears, Andre reemerges, chaos follows. And given Andre's history of slipping back into Salem right when Tony is conveniently absent, the parallels are too strong to dismiss. So is it possible that the man walking around Salem calling himself Tony is actually Andre, back from the dead yet again? And if so, what does he truly want? Revenge on the Kyriakis family? Domination of Titan? Or perhaps something even darker that no one has yet imagined? What happens next? If Andre is indeed masquerading as Tony, then Salem is sitting on a powder keg ready to explode. Maggie's instincts may only be the beginning of a long line of people who begin to doubt his true identity. But by the time they uncover the truth, it may be too late.